What's your white woman name? They gave me mine. It's Janice. I'm gonna tell you.
Yo, you niggas is
shut
crazy.
the fuck up.
One eternity later.
Don't shoot at me now that you ice cold. I'm not doing it back and forth with a corpse.
Come on, man.
I'm not doing
forgot
it
he
when
called
you
Drake a
was lit.
corpse.
It was fun.
Many months later.
All right, this is Janice. Shut the fuck up.
This was the first miss for me. This
It's the second miss for me. It's
just a miss, though.
It was a miss. This almost could have been on the Habidi or something.
Yeah,
Like
I didn't love the hook neither.
Oh, I like this hook. This
like
is
the hook?
fire.
I don't think it should have been on
I ain't like
this
no part of it.
album. I think it should have been on one of the
But I wasn't mad at this. But you're right. This don't need to be played.
3 days later.
Beep, beep, baby.
That's great.
My Mercedes got the heat seats, baby. Now that shit is fine. Pull up on me. What is that, Steve?
Okay, I like this theory. Because, see, I was bringing up the fact that because I get, we're going to play Axe video after we play Janice Shut the Fuck Up. There's a lot to talk about with this song, by the way. But this is the most important part of it all to me, if I could be completely honest with you. But either way, I could get, like, okay, buried alive, someone come dig me up. That is clearly either, like, a reference to what Kendrick did in Buried Alive interlude from Take Care and whatnot. But also, like, Drake isn't a surface level rapper in a sense, especially when he's barring somebody up. So I felt like all these bars had double meanings to them. And I feel like when he says buried alive, someone come dig me up, I think he's talking about the fact that, one, of course, like they kind of said, Joe said he wouldn't go back and forth with a corpse when he was referring to Drake in one of the rants that he did. And then two, y'all remember like the Making a Murderer series, right? Those were the tracks that Joe Budden made aimed and dissing Drake, while Drake could at this point was give him an ad lib. Well, Making a Murderer, what is that about? Making Joe into a murderer that's gonna kill Drake. Like that's what most of them songs were about, as far as that beef that he was having with himself at that time was about, when he was actively rapping. So I feel like that just buried alive to just that 2 words for Drake means a lot and could be referencing to a lot other than just Kendrick Lamar. Whoever this guy is, they're fucking smart. They're fucking smart. Savvy Mike in this. And I am Savvy Mike TV. And yes, we're going to react to the #1 song in America right now, which is Janice Shut the Fuck Up. And wow, at first it was just fire to me. You know, I was like, oh, this is cool. Teach me, maybe it's cool. And then yeah, he's dissing Kendrick and Jay-Z in it. So it was just fun to me. I was like, yeah, this is a fun one. I much rather prefer to hear the other songs on Iceman, like Whisper My Name, Plot Twist. You know, I'd rather hear those. But this is cool. I like this, right? And then when like these niggas started doing the science, because this whole time I have been asking myself, who the fuck is Janice? Now I could get Janice being some white girl that Drake used to fuck, or Janice just being some random woman that Drake used to fuck. But usually the internet is just good at digging that up. Like we've been trying to figure out who Janice is since the album came out, basically. And the closest we've gotten to an actual answer is it being Joe Budden. Like, they said somebody at UMG worked for, name was Jen, but that was like an old LinkedIn from a long time ago, and that person's not even at UMG anymore. So why would he be talking to her? Who knows? Maybe that is the person he was talking to. But I like the science that was done here, and yeah, I'm with it. Because now I've listened to at least the rap verses of it. It sounds a lot different now. I'm going to point out every time Drake was probably in a double entendre way throwing a shot at not only Kendrick, but Joe as well. Not only Jay-Z, but Joe as well. And it's just like, wow. It's like he waited a long time to finally want to really violate Joe. But I guess he's just like, yeah, I gotta give him a piece of my mind at this point. Now, I could understand what Ak is saying and why would Drake be worried about Joe? He has bigger fish to fry. This is a big fish. Joe Budden, according to everybody in the media landscape, has the biggest hip-hop podcast in the world. And he's one of the biggest, haters of Drake. He's been hating since Views. Like, he's one of the biggest haters of Drake. So this is a long time coming. And that's what I'm saying. Last year, Drake gave him a line in Give Me a Hug. Melissa Ford, you're a legend. Too bad you sit next to a dick sucker. That was one line. And if anything, it kind of led us into the lines that he got and the bars that he got and make them remember. There's some other bars in here that could be referring to Drake and Iceman. But now Janice Shut the Fuck Up sounds like he might be talking to Joe, because kind of like he used to do all the time. Like Drake used to just give Joe ad-libs. He never gave him a full verse. The only time he gave him a full line was a year ago in some sexy song. He never did that before. Like, he'd just be a fucking pump it up, and he'd fucking move on. Like, that's all he was doing. But for some reason, because Joe is a big part of everything, really, Drake brings Joe up during the tailor-made freestyle. When For All the Dogs came out, Joe ran it and went off and went crazy and violated him for dropping that album. And when it comes down to it, every time Drake does an album or does some music, this nigga Joe is running to paywall it. You boys got big off my name. That's big enough. Who do you think he's talking to? He could be talking to Kendrick, yeah. But I also think Joe Zempic is getting some shots in here as well. Anyways, I'm just excited because fuck this nigga Joe. I mean, what? Look, maybe that's why I'm loving Iceman so much. Joe's getting fucking obliterated on it, and I'm loving every line and bar. Every line and bar. I think he gave it some bars in Firm France. I just need to go really lock in on it again, but it sounded like he did. Anyways, outside of Janice Shut the Fuck Up being a Joe Budden diss, and until Drake himself says something like, we'll play what Ak has to say after we watch the music. But until Ak says, Drake, the boy told me that Janice Shut the Fuck Up, Janice is not referring to Joe. He had a good laugh because he was like, y'all are good, y'all are clever, but it wasn't about him. And until that happens, I'm like, okay, cool. Till then, no. It is a Joe Budden diss, and I'm listening to it like it's one. Let's turn the fuck up. Joe, shut the fuck up. That's what we're going to start saying. Instead of Janice, Joe, shut the fuck up. Hey, yo, Joe, shut the fuck up.
$1,000,000, it's been so long since you texted me. I finally took a break and now I feel like I'm on ecstasy. You said what my word means to me will one day be the death of me. They tried to kill me once, but darling, you just resurrected me.
Reach me, baby. Call my phone and say you need me, baby. I'm so green, you gotta teach me, baby.
From Vancouver, you a BC, baby.
Pull up Maybach, beep, beep, baby. And my shit came with the heat seats, baby. Swear my label got a free beat, baby.
Blow on me just like some green tea, baby. Hey, hey, hey.
Buried alive, someone come dig me up. That was a shot to Kendrick and Joe Budden. I just explained it. Making a Murderer. He dropped like 4 disses towards Drake. You think Drake was just gonna forget? No, he's just petty, and he just waited until the right fucking moment to name a song. Janice, shut the fuck up. And then on top of that, even the title is kind of a diss because it's just like, yeah, Janice, shut the fuck up. All Joe does is talk on his pod and his Patreon, I guess, hating on Drake. So, yeah, it just all lines up, unfortunately. Like, I want to say that we're reaching, but it just lines up too easily. Like, listen.
If I call her
right now, she picking up. Joe Budden. He's talking about, now he's probably talking about my girl and your girl, too. But I think specifically right here, he's talking to Joe Zempic.
You boys got big on my name.
That's big enough. That is a shot to not only Kendrick Lamar because he calls him little all the time, but I also think that is a shot to Joe Zempic as well. Why? Like I just explained, but I'm going to keep explaining because niggas are dumb. Patreon. Every time Drake drops an album or does anything, Joe is paywalling it. Basically getting not only big but rich off of Drake's name. Let's keep listening.
We know how you OGs rocking around there, my nigga. The jig is up.
At a certain point, Joe Budden was Drake's OG when they was hanging out in Astoria in New York in the early 2010s. Like Drake looked at Joe as an OG of rap to help him in this rap thing. That's just the truth. They had a friendship in a sense. They were at the strip clubs, like they were chilling together. Like Joe and Drake had a friendship. And Drake respected Joe's pen. He did. He even asked him for a verse or two here and there. So, from what I'm hearing, at least that's from what they saying. That could be a lie, but from what the podcast says, that's what happened. So, you know, not only is Drake, yes, referring to Jay-Z here, for sure, the jig is up. That's for him. But he also, in a roundabout way, and I hate to call Drake genius, but if this is what he's doing, I'm saying Drake might not want to say anything. Just let it rock. Let us rock. Hell, nudge it and be like, maybe. Because you're looking like a genius right now. Because it's like, now your bars have turned into like quadruple entendres. They mean 4 different things. I'm just saying, I wouldn't fuck this up. Number 1 song in America and it's dissing Joe Zempic. I'm lit.
They say the truth will set you free. Well, mine is gonna stream while you watching HD. They say that karma could take an eternity. Yours is dropping the same night as me. Funny thing is that they ain't gonna compete. You gonna get yours while I'm doing me. You gonna get yours.
I don't know if you're talking to Joe here in the last few lines. Them first few lines though.
Me, baby. Call my phone and say you need me, baby. Thought they had me in a deep sleep, baby. I'm still scorching hot in these streets, baby. Pull up Maybach, beep, beep, baby.
Never want going.
And my shit came with the heat seats, baby. See-through shirt, I get a sneak peek, baby.
Blow on me just like some green tea, baby. Hey, hey. Tired of all of y'all telling me niggas is real. Pussy, I know when it's real. You only come home to pose and pop off a look, but you forgot how I feel. Shot-town popping a pill, go on a drill, looking for someone to kill. White kids listen to you, cause they feel some guilt, and that's how your soul gets fulfilled. Handing out turkeys on camera inside of your hood, then you go back to the hills. How many houses you build? How many souls did you heal off the back of your deal? Difference between niggas getting you out of your deal and letting you out of your deal. Damn, against your will, how many new names do you got on your will? Damn, how many more times is y'all gonna keep calling it soft when it's silk? Damn, how many more interviews y'all gonna do just to get ice to chill? Damn. They tryna cover it up like a quilt. Rari go skirt on a boy like a kilt. Kept it 100 on paper like Wilt. Tricking it off on a paying a bill. That's just how I do the sauce in a spill. These hoes know how I pop it for real. These hoes know how I pop it for real. Yeah. Yeah. I made way too much in a week. Must be 250 at least. Like the money just grew off a tree. Like the money just came in for free. For real. Yeah. MRI machine scanning my knee. Like how long you been running the streets? For real. Yeah. She just text me like we. We in Paris like 200 deep. For real. And I went bought a whip for my brother. Same body but 2 different colors. And I might just tell Kyle get another. Small price cause he kept it 100. And I might book a flight out to London.
Hey Johnny, shut the fuck up. Fuck up.
Now that it's dissing my op, it's peak. It was fire at first. Now, I love the song. Number 1 song in America for a reason. It's a fucking hit. Way better than God's Plan. I'll tell you that much. If y'all want some criticism. If y'all want some balance, boy. Because for some reason, my God's Plan take is, it turned up a video. Like I see in the comments, these niggas replying to what I said about God's Plan. And nobody's saying I'm wrong. It's just, they're just kind of like, damn, why did you just have to like open our eyes on that? It's the truth. Of course, you know, the Drake defender here and there. God's Plan was well, no, I ain't seen nobody say God's Plan was a good song. I think every Drake fan will tell you that is probably his worst number 1 song. It's that and Tootsie Slide. It's those two songs that are questionable number 1s. Questionable, for sure. It's like, this what y'all was rocking with? But Janice Shut the Fuck Up, I get. Not only because it's a good song, and then, you know, it's kind of a cheat code, too. That's what Drake does. He interpolates Leaky Lee, but they said that Drake put them on, so it's just kind of like a full circle moment for all of them, I guess. I don't know. Either way, for the hook, he is kind of like interpolating some Swedish hitmaker type hook that was a hit. So I don't know. I don't know. I give him credit. Look, he actually put in some work for Iceman. At the end of the day, it's a really good album. And the product of that shows. What I don't like is the discourse that's happening afterwards, because instead of us just putting our biases to the side, and I get at some point we have to hate if we're haters. Yeah, just wait, or not even wait. Get your hate off, sure. I've been getting hate off this whole time, but I can't lie to you. The fucking album's great. So I think that's my thing. I'm like, bro, like, we can have our biasnesses, I guess. We could worship whoever we worship. It stands. Do what you want to do at this point. I ain't convincing none of y'all to not stand worship. So if you enjoy that, cool. Have at it, right? But at the same time, when it comes down to it, the hip-hop I grew up in, while I had my favorite, I was allowed to have other favorites. You know what I mean? It wasn't just you are only an Eminem fan and that's it. No, I could be an Eminem fan and be a Wayne fan and be a Jay-Z fan and be a Nas fan and just grow up loving these guys, even while still loving the fun shit that I love to listen to, whether that be Bow Wow or any of these other people. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how I work. Or Soulja Boy. Like, that's how it was for me. Like, I knew Eminem and Wayne and Jay-Z was some of the greatest rappers I ever heard. I would never argue to you at that point. You know, ringtone Soulja Boy in his prime at least was a greater rapper as them, but he was having a run. Like, you couldn't deny it. Like, you couldn't just go, this is ass, and wag your finger at it, because then your biases start to show. And it's just like, do you really love music, or is it about you hearing music from your favorite person? I don't know who I was talking to, but I said this point, and it's like, you know, they completely agreed with me. So y'all might hear this and go, well, you know, think about it like this, Stans. Would you be okay if Drake was the only person to ever rap again? Because that's how y'all basically treating hip hop. He's the only person you can listen to. Same with Kendrick. Same with the Kendrick Lamar stance. Are you okay if Kendrick Lamar is the only person releasing music ever again? No. You want to know why? Because you wouldn't get it. You get it every 5 years, every 3 years. You would be pissed. You'd be like, damn, I need to hear some music. Where are you, Kendrick? I'm just listening to your old shit. I want to hear some new Kendrick. You feel me? Like, that's how y'all are basically treating the stand worship shit. Like, and it makes no sense to me. Because I want to listen to every piece of music I can hear, no matter who it's coming from. Because not only do I love good raps, I love good music. And we're going to end this with Ack kind of debunking, or at least I want to say trying to debunk, because he failed to me. This didn't work. This was clearly DJ Academics playing Draymond levels of defense for not only Drake, but his man Joe Budden as well, which is another guy, plays both sides of the fence openly, but since he's the biggest Drake glazer and lover, it's kind of overshadowed. You feel me? So it's just interesting to me how we do this thing. But you know, he's out here. Like I said, when it comes down to it, before I play this clip, I'm gonna let you know right now, I don't care. It wasn't enough. These 5 minutes he tried to explain this was not enough for me. It wasn't. Nope. I still believe that Joe Budden is getting dissed on Janice Shut the Fuck Up in the ad-lib. Damn near. That's what I believe. Anyways, let's see what Ack has to say.
Remember, he disses Joe. Janice is not Joe. And I'm going to be honest with you. I hate to break it to people. I actually don't even think Janice is Jay-Z. I actually think Janice is a bitch. And we're going to...
See, now that's a weird... Who thought Janice was Jay-Z? Now, he's dissing Jay-Z, but who thought Janice was Jay-Z? And honestly, for Janice to be a bitch, or be one of Drake's scorn lovers, I guess, I wonder what Janice did to him that really... Like, he didn't talk about that in the song. Like, he could have at least expounded on that in the song, and why he hates Janice so much and wants her to shut the fuck up. Maybe it's a white woman that talked too much. I don't know. Drake needs to explain these things. Till then, I'm going off the theory. He's talking about Joe Budden. Sorry.
Find out who, because Drake always fucking with some new bitch, bro. I'm going to keep it a bean. The shots are very direct, and I think we should go to the lyrics. Like, you know, but I'm gonna let Trap Lord cook a little bit. He's talking to two different people here. Verse 1, hey, buried alive, someone come dig me up. If I call you shorty right now, she picking up. Okay, I know people want to, like, assume Drake fucked all these niggas bitches, not just Joe. All of them. All of them. You get what I'm saying? I wouldn't be surprised if he popped out saying he smashed Whitney. I don't know. Drake is just, he just, whatever. Yeah, exactly. The point is this. I know that's the reference. People are like, oh no, he's talking about Joe. No. Verse 1 is, hey, Buried Alive, someone come dig me up. First of all, Buried Alive, that's a Kendrick thing, right? Kendrick did Buried Alive. It was the interlude on Take Care. But I don't think this is at Kendrick. If I call your shorty up, she picking up. I don't think he's talking about Whitney. He says, you boys got big off my name. That's big enough. We know how you OGs rocking already. My nigga, the jig is up. That's clearly a Jay-Z bar. That's clearly a Jay-Z bar. So he's talking to either a few people. Maybe he goes at Kendrick. Like, he's almost like linking them up in like a group that's against them. They say the truth will set you free. Well, mine is going to stream while you watch in HD. None of that is to Joe Budden at all. They say karma could take an eternity. Yours is dropping the same night as me. I'm going to be honest with you. If I think anybody holds some karma, I think he's talking to Kendrick. Yo, you lied. He speaks very, very much in this album about what Kendrick did or had to do to try to get ahead in the battle. So him talking about karma, I would still think he's talking about that. He says, your karma is dropping the same night as me. Funny thing is that they can't compete, or they ain't gonna compete. You gonna get yours while I'm doing me. You gonna get yours while I'm doing me. I don't believe that's Joe Budden. It sounds great. I know that the Patronis, y'all ready for him to do the hate-a-thon. But I think Joe's going to come up with the same thing. He's a master lyricist. He understands, like, one thing I always give Joe credit at, Joe is the absolute best. Like, these reviewers couldn't hold a candle to him. I couldn't even either. I'll be honest with you. When Joe reads lyrics, he reads it like a rapper. And that's one of the only great things about Joe being in the space. Not only great things. That sounds like a sneak diss, right? No, like, that's one of the great things about having a Joe. Because a fan and someone who's not a lyricist to Drake's level, you need someone that's approximate to him, like a Joe. He breaks down bars differently. I guarantee when Joe does this on a podcast, he's going to literally say, and I don't think he's lying either, he's going to say, that's not about me, right? I don't think he's going to, he's going to have some fun with it, but he's going to realize that's not about him. I really don't. I think people are stuck on the name Janice more than they're actually should be focused on the verses. You get what I'm saying? He's saying, okay, verse 2. Tired of y'all telling me niggas is real. Pussy, I know when it's real. You only come home to pose and pop off a look, but you forgot how it feel. To me, that's the Weeknd he's dissing. Chi-Town popping a pill, go on a drill looking for someone to kill. White kids listen to you because they feel some guilt and that's how your soul gets fulfilled. I think that's the Kendrick. Handing out turkeys on camera inside your hood, then you go back to the hills. I think that's the Kendrick. How many houses you build? How many souls did you heal off the back of your deal? That's the Kendrick. Difference between niggas getting you out of your deal and letting you out of your deal. Okay? I think that's the Kendrick and Pusha T. I think that's the Clips and Kendrick. Kendrick didn't release music for 5 years because he couldn't get out of his deal. Drake is going through something with his label and is dropping music to get out the deal. That's what I think he's trying to say. Against your wills, how many new names do you got on your will? Damn. How many more times is y'all gonna keep calling it soft when it's silk? Damn. How many more interviews y'all gonna do just to get Ice to chill? Damn. Now, I don't think that's the Kendrick. That is, I think, I don't even think that's the media at all. I think he's talking to people who have aligned with Kendrick. They try to cover it up like a quilt. Rari goes skirt on a boy like a kilt. Kept it 100 on a paper like Wilt, tricking it off on her, paying her bill. That's just how I do the sauce and the spill.